your mom and your dad weren't together.
Correct.
But you guys weren't integrated with a bunch of other kids and
No.
blah, blah, blah.
No.
I was.
Yeah.
And even though I was, that blueprint was faulty.
Yes.
And so I had...
Yeah, multiple sets of faulty blueprints.
Right. So there was a missing...
A lot, which many people do.
Right. And so what we're talking about is having a good blueprint.
3 out of our 4 adult children who have children are in or are going to be in blended family situations.
All of them.
No, Dominic is.
Oh yeah.
No,
Marissa, I'm sorry. I did not mean that. Dominic, I'm sorry.
3 out of our top 4.
Kendricks is like, what? My mom's and pops, what?
No, 3 out of our top 4.
Yeah.
The oldest.
Yep.
And we've talked about this with them, and that's why sometimes I go, y'all, really? Like after what you experienced yourself, and as much as work as it's taken,
okay.
Why are you repeating some of the things that in my head you should know better? Because
the blueprint we created, they're just seeing the corrected blueprint over the last several years.
That's fair.
So the blueprint that they had was jacked up because, again, we're missing windows, we're missing doors, we got a sandy foundation. So they're operating off of the faulty blueprint that we created.
Yeah,
and
agreed,
as
but it's still agreed.
We're just at a stage now where they're starting to see us erase some of the lines that were pencil and start etching them with pen. They're just starting to see that. Or
just tearing down walls that shouldn't have been, yeah. So I agree with that. Mm-hmm. I do. At the same time, I still would present for your consideration one of my favorite phrases. Listen, ladies, listen. That is such a good way to learn how to submit and be like, think about this. I submit for your consideration, dear.
That means, fellas,
on the inside,
fellas,
I'm going,
this is,
you better listen to me.
Right, that's what that means. That's what that means. That means you are going to do this. You are going to do this, or there will be repercussions.
Life hack trick, y'all. Life hack trick. I'm just saying. Pick your battles. But at the same time, I do submit for your consideration, seriously, that I am great. I guess in my head and in my mind, they still had started from, a much better place than us. And so here's one of my unrealistic expectations, right? Which I struggle with greatly. And that's one of the struggles listed in the book as well, right? Like unrealistic expectations of going, well, hey, we still did better than what we had. So y'all should be doing better, than us. And so being able to pause and do exactly what you're doing and say, yeah, that's not fair. And being able to assess the reality of each individual in your blended family can think different, process different, need different stuff, need different healing. As we've learned and you guys have learned and watched with us, there were so many things that I just both of us didn't know,
right.
As far as even Jayla and what was really going on with her foundation. And the whole time I'm thinking it's just about me, and it really wasn't.
Yeah,
because we didn't take the time to check everybody's situation and go, hey, well, where are you at? What type of house, what type of foundation do you have? What type of foundation do you have?
We were so concerned with building the big house.
Yeah.
We didn't take the time.
Check the individual rooms and compartments.
Exactly. We didn't see how sturdy each room was.
Yeah.
And that.
And sticking to the topic of, before you blame, check the blueprints. So, because it's easy to think your children are just acting off because it's a kid thing.
Right.
As opposed to going, let me take a moment and really assess, is it just, okay, they're 9 or 10 and that's just normal for this versus...
It's what Jayla said, children are clairvoyant. She said that.
She did, but hold on. Hang on. You see, now you interrupted me.
That's because you be... I submit for your consideration.
When kids are struggling.
And you still keep going. All right.
Because I'm trying to finish my thought. See, y'all.
Finish your thought.
Yeah. Can y'all tell? Like,
Finish
this
your thought.
is not made up. This is like what
finish all of your thoughts.
This is why, we only let you on so many times. But
I was about to say.
This is why we only invite you to be a guest. This is why I need Jayla to moderate. See,
you know what? I was about to say this is my house, but it's not according to the grandkids. So like this Gigi house. Go on.
No, but and we have talked about this, I think, a bit too. But when you're in a blended family, and shoot, even in a traditional family, I mean, there's just a lot of this does layer over. But again, for blended families, because they're so dynamic and do have so many layers that you've got to kind of be willing, number one, to just accept that and think through that reality and then assess, hey, okay, is my 9-year-old struggling over here because it's a typical 9-year-old growth process, or is my 9-year-old struggling over here because they are struggling with what's going on with their family situation, with their blended family situation, that they're tired of, they really want to be, if the scenario is they live full time with their mom and only are part time with their dad, is yearning, to be really live with their father, but are they scared to ask that because they don't want to hurt their mom's feelings, or, there's all of these things that and we went through that, particularly with Eric, Dom, and Jayla, right? Like when they would go to Gary's,
different blueprint
and
over
come
there.
back and
you used to say, we've got to reprogram them. They've been over there so long. They've gone, they've been allowed to do X, Y, and Z. And when they come back, and it was the same with Jalen, we would always say, okay, they're back. We have to reprogram them or remind them of where things are in this blueprint.
Yeah. What the plans for this house are, what the rules are, how we run this household. And that's a lot, y'all. For kids to have to navigate.
It is.
When the parents are not, and again, the goal I present for y'all consideration, the goal should be.
That means she wants y'all to do it.
So one, this takes maturity.
It does.
Two, this takes grown-ups being willing to be doggone grown-ups, right? Hold yourself accountable. Deal with your own hurt, anger. Get some healing for yourself, and then being mature adults and being civil enough to sit down with your other bio parent and say, hey, where can we find some common spaces and grounds and be in agreement so that things are as consistent as possible in both households.
Right. Can I say something? Can I say? I want to say something. Can I?
Tyrone Pickens.
So I was just thinking about when Jerry and I were married, things were rocky. I was trying to work them out. I needed them to work because the blueprints that I had been shown didn't work. And so I tried to force the build. Yeah. I tried to force, the blueprint was 900 square feet. I was trying to build 2,000 square feet. I was going to force it and make it happen.
Make it work no matter what. Because you didn't want your kids experiencing what I experienced. Same thing on my side.
Right. So
you put up with a lot of shenanigans.
Right. Shenanigans. I like that word. So when you blend, sometimes you also try to force relationships with the not the bio. You try to
bonus children.
Thank you. You try to force the relationship with the bonus.
We call them bonus, y'all. Again, we don't. A lot of common terminology is stepchildren.
I was talking. I had the talking stick. Here, give me the cards. Let me see the cards.
No, go ahead.
We need to have talking cards. All right. So you try to force the relationship and build something that you haven't drawn out correctly, if that makes any sense. You're trying to say, hey,
and you shouldn't be, but see, that's okay.
Using the analogy about
it shouldn't
me.
even be you drawing. It should be a collaborative effort because you have to consult with the children and figure out who they are and what they need.
Okay.
And
so
how.
did we collaborate on the expectation for Dom, Eric, and Jayla with you? Did we consult on the collaboration, we didn't consult on any of that?
It. We didn't.
And so
That's what I'm saying. We missed it.
Had we tried to sit down, talk about, sketch it out, and project what it's going to cost, what it's going to look like, who's all going to be involved to help us get there. And that's where you say it, counseling.
Oh, I was like, what am I supposed to say?
So the counselor is the general contractor. We had this, and the architect. We had this grandiose idea of what we wanted to build. And so we had to get them involved. So they were like the counseling to say, yeah, that doesn't work, or this works, or that doesn't work. And so when you get that help to draw the plans, you can build a bit better. Not that it won't have some hiccups.
Well, because no different than we were in the middle of this build, and lo and behold, but see, here's the kicker.
What?
When you're building a house, what has to take place in order to make sure that you are in compliance with the city regulations?
I don't know what happens.
An inspector comes to see if you are up to code.
Right, but that's while you are in the process.
I know. So my point is actually there's two ways. So the counseling, professional I'd say y'all, spiritual, right? And just having wise counsel. They're your inspectors. You go for a checkup. You see what I'm saying? So
I got you.
They come to you or you go to them, but you have to be willing to be held accountable. And
remember,
not to be
you talking over me
without your permits.
You're talking over me. So remember,
I was actually talking, sir.
You didn't have the talking stick the entire time. Remember when Dad Walton would come and do check-ins with the kids? Mm-hmm. Remember that?
I do.
And then he would take me in the room and admonish me. Is that the right word? Admonish me?
I don't know.
Is not? Mm-mm. Is that admonish is good?
Chastise. Correct.
Chastise. Okay, so he would take me in the room. She's my walking dictionary. He would take me in the room and say, reprimand me about certain things, as well as you, And then there were things that he told me, like, you should never discipline out of anger. That's a good blueprint, especially when you don't look at the camera like that, especially when you are blending. Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Say it.
That's a whole nother
Say thing. It with your chest.
I've said it plenty of times.
So anyway, my point is, I forgot what my point was.
Dad would reprimand you. And so basically him coming in, that's the inspection.
Right, that's the inspection. And then you have to learn.
Hey, this ain't up to code.
Right, you have to learn.
Here.
You have to learn from that inspection and be willing to take the advice of the inspector.
And make the corrections.
And I would say, if you have an inspector, if you've chosen to have an inspector, you got to trust the inspector. The inspector typically knows what they're talking about.
Well, and so I wouldn't even look, y'all. It shouldn't even be an option. So when you're building a house, there are rules when you do it correctly, y'all. We ain't talking, but see, there is a choice because you can do bootleg, jackleg, not pull the permits, not be up to code, and then what can happen in those instances? You call in Jimmy John, who ain't got a lick of a license.
Not Jimmy John.
Your wiring and your electrical.
He brings a sub sandwich with him.
Because he's saving you
$8.
$8 over the licensed professional. Then what winds up happening?
Don't allow
your house burned down.
Right. Don't allow.
You're not getting the right professionals.
Don't allow people with bad blueprints help you build your house. You don't think that's good?
Yeah, lovely. That's just
Wait,
yes.
You didn't like that? That was good. That was good.
Okay.
It took me a minute to come up with that was good.
Okay. But the whole yes.
So I'm talking about having wise counsel, for real.
Correct.
If you are, and you know how you have conversations with different families that are blended and you're trying to get advice, and you're talking to someone and their marriage is on the verge of,
Correct.
The house is crumbling. It's crumbling.
You have to use wisdom in getting, like you said, wise counsel, people that have the right quote unquote credentials.
Mm-hmm.
You know a tree by the fruit it bears.
Yeah.
So if you are looking for someone to assist you and your spouse with identifying and figuring out how to fix things, then you ought not be asking someone who's in the middle of,
demolition
issues and themselves. And not to say that folks can't rebound and recover. Dad Walton has obviously, he was married, but you have to use wisdom when you are choosing who you solicit to assist with your family planning and your building, your rebuild, your just figuring out, okay, this is off, this doesn't work. And we did do good with that. We did. It was a matter of not going, because we had good people. We had, real people that's going to tell the truth, and it was according to the word. It was not their opinion. We didn't have people gaslighting us, and we didn't have people cabling us up and, girl, you ought to, no, we didn't. Thank God for that, because a lot of people do.
I had that on my side.
Okay, well, I didn't.
I'm thinking about, and I've read it from kind of cover to cover, but just thinking about some of the things that you were saying in the book, that really, I didn't know that you thought that way.
Which way? What are you talking about?
Just, how you were explaining some of the things that you felt like we really jacked up. Mm-hmm. And just being able to read some of that, I'm like, who knew? And so offering our mistakes, our pitfalls, struggles, areas of opportunity that we had to help people draw their own blueprint in a better light was kind of eye-opening for me. I'm just like, man. Because
that's what we say all the time.
Yeah.
We didn't, there was no roadmap for us.
Right.
And unfortunately, it again will be 23 years.
Are we having a party on the 25th year?
Probably in a
Where at?
I don't focus. Please focus.
I am focusing. That's important.
I have no idea.
It's part of the blueprint.
I have no idea.
Go
Mr.
ahead.
Pickens. You keep doing that and throwing me off.
That's so I can talk.
We had no idea. Y'all. It wasn't discussed. Again, right. We've said this before. We did premarital counseling.
But not
there
blended.
Was no component
right.
of what it meant to be a blended family, things to consider. Now, as we continue to counsel with Dad Walton, he would bring things up that were related to that, but it wasn't like, hey, here's kind of a list of things
that you need to talk about, that you need to be concerned about.
Core to the majority of when you're creating a blended family, here's a list of things that you should piece through and see where y'all fall on these. And that's the whole point of writing the book, y'all. So going through 10 common struggles, topics, areas that many blended families, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're gonna touch on it in one way or another. And if nothing else, it gives you a semblance of a roadmap to say, hey, have we talked about this?
Right.
Have we talked about boundaries? Have we talked about money in a way that, how do you do Christmas for your kids? How do I do it for mine? Mm-hmm. What do you do for birthdays? What do I do for birthdays? Because when you start blending families, if my son was used to me going all out for Christmas and your children were used to, hey, we keep it simple because we get stuff all year, all of a sudden you have two different styles and types of behaviors coming into one house that if you don't figure it out and then you each get on the same page first, aside and apart from the kids, and then talk through, okay, well, how do we find a medium point? And then sit down and educate the kids, with their age, so that the kids don't feel like, oh, now all of a sudden this dude and these people up in here and I gotta suffer,
right?
You know,
right.
like I don't get no Christmas no more.
Right.
What's going on?
You got one, but it's just scaled back.
Right.
It's
and so,
scaled
but
back.
that's an example. And
not that my kids got scaled back. I'm just keep it 100.
But that's just an example, right, of the things that blended families go through.
Not that our children got scaled back. We adjusted. We did.
Families can get caught in blaming cycles.
Right.
And we are submitting and discussing that when you have a plan, it's a way to break the cycle.
Yeah.
And for blended families, there unfortunately are, from what we've seen and experienced, and the reason why we chose to do what we're doing with the podcast, etc., is because there are really not a lot of resources out there for blended families, right? And so we're saying, hey, it is so easy to blame everybody else, number one. Again, your ex-spouse, the other bio parent, if you weren't married, your current spouse, blame the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Parents blaming the kids blaming the parents. When that gets you nowhere. Playing the blame game gets nobody anywhere. It's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah,
so, well, if you would just stop acting crazy, we would be fine. Well, no. Why is he acting crazy? Is it because you provoking and causing, and typically at the root of that stuff is what's going on the inside of each individual.
There's some insecurities that happen because, again, I thought this way. And it took me some time to come to grips with it. My first house failed. I built it. We built it.
No, your first marriage.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry and I built it out of convenience. Just real talk. So,
which a lot of people do.
Right. So like you said, you
running from something else.
Right. Running from something else.
Rescued.
Yep. You allow Jimmy John to build your first house. And he shows up with no nails, no hammer. He got like duct tape to help you put it together. And so when that failed, I said to myself, this next one is going to work. So it goes back to what I was saying. You try to force things to work. You go to every game. You coach every game. You put food on the table because you want it to work. You submit things for consideration that don't make sense. Mm-hmm. You do all these things to try to build this house when in essence, it's being built on sand. And so when you go back and you start having the hard conversations, when you go back and you start trusting one another and talking about the finances, how to discipline the kids, all the things that we experienced that we did not prepare for.
Didn't even discuss up front.
When you start going back to kind of build that foundation so that you can move forward. Because our motto is, I'm not leaving and I won't be left.
I ain't leaving and I won't be left.
Always correcting me. Same thing. But we made that motto based on what we've been through. We made that motto based on this has to work. And in order for it to work, you have to go back and build correctly. We had to shore up the walls. And like Jess said, we had to tear some down.
And before you get to that, there can be no we if each person involved does not take individual accountability to first assess and then address what's
Thank
really
you for
going on
you said that. Thank
you. Of them. Because my control issue that you've had to grapple with for years, which I'm finally doing a lot better.
She has been taking control of this whole segment. Ask Calvin. See, he over there shaking his head off camera like, I would submit for your consideration that your control issues have gotten 100% better.
Thank you, dear. But at the core of that was what I had been through in the past. Mm-hmm. It was the fact that my family structure, that for me, the way that I'm built, I would have, because I didn't have my dad, that greatly impacted my self-identity.
Yeah.
And I was very insecure because I incorrectly felt like something was wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why my dad didn't want to parent me, didn't want to be consistent in my life. And then because I had been in, unfortunately, many relationships that were not healthy and not good, and been cheated on and been mentally, physically abused, that something was wrong with me. And so that level of insecurity transferred over because I never got to the root. Now I did do the very first time I got engaged in extreme counseling with a Christian psychiatrist, and really spent months digging, which was hard work. And it is, y'all. It's hard work to set the mirror in front of yourself and then take a look and go, what's really at the core of this?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? What's me, right? Like, what's going on with me? Where did I make mistakes? What do I need to own? And then make a choice. Okay, I can either fix this, or I can say, forget y'all, and keep living this way. And then it means you just have to accept the reality that if you have straight up character flaws that are due to past trauma, or due to, how you were raised, all of these things fall into that. You have to choose.
Yeah.
Are you going to identify those things and then work on it and do something about it so that you can then proceed to have healthier relationships that started from scratch, or to be able to go and say, hey, okay, I'm ready to tear down these walls that I didn't even realize existed over here, but they're blocking us from getting to where we need to go. And so I need some time to work on this. And hey, guess what? When you see me doing X, I need you to hold me accountable. Y'all, if you don't give people permission to hold you accountable, how are you ever going to heal?
Yeah.
How are you ever going to grow? Because if you think, well, no, you can't tell me. No, you need to be willing to submit to someone. And whether that's a professional or whether that's someone that you trust, that's close, to say, hey, I need an accountability partner.
And that's something that we struggled with.
Yeah.
We struggled. Well, we did.
No, we had accountability partners. You mean each other?
We didn't have each other accountable. Because
I think we had times where we did. I hear what you're saying. No, what we weren't. I don't think we were receptive. Like, we would try to hold each other accountable.
So see, that's what I just said.
We were not.
That's what I just said.
Okay, that's not what I heard. Again, we both know how you think you say stuff because it's in your head and it don't come out.
The good thing about this is it's on tape. Yeah, it's on camera.
Mm-hmm. But that's not what you just said.
But yeah, we did struggle with holding each other accountable. I did.
No, we would try to, but we were so defensive. We couldn't receive it. So there's a difference between just not even trying and trying, but because you are not healed or in a place of yours. Because again, I would be defensive about the control issue because I still wasn't healed in that area.
Right.
Same for you. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
and I was at a point where I was tired of the head bumping, and so I'm like,
you just fell back.
You want to run this? I'm getting 3 meals,
which caused a whole nother ripple effect.
3 meals in a cot. I ain't tripping.
Oh God, yeah. Well, that's real. That's real talk.
And that's what it was for a long time. We talked about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, and so when you step back and you look at it, subliminally or inwardly, you're upset because
you're not operating as the head of the household the way that I need you to, even though.
And in my head, I'm like, you always in the front seat of the train telling me some whoop whoop, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna be on the train riding. So there was no accountability there where I stepped up or you backed up for us to be in our correct roles. And all of this, as we prepare to land the plane, all of this is about having the correct blueprint.
Well, yeah.
Because
and before you blame other people, blame somebody else, blame your spouse, blame your kids, blame your parents, do this. You got to do some self-assessing, y'all. And you have to be honest, because you can't be honest with nobody else if you're not being honest with yourself.
Be honest with yourself first.
And that's a hard conversation to have with yourself and with other people. But we are finally there. I mean, like, we literally, y'all, I'm telling you, within the last year, have gotten to a place where we can have calm, very contentious, but calm conversations about about difficult topics. You see what I mean?
I think that's correct.
Things that would typically, before it would turn into like an argument, a not pretty argument, we can now go, okay, and we choose our words carefully.
Yeah.
And we say, okay, this is a bit difficult, but here's how I feel. Here's my perception. Or can we talk about this? You see what I mean?
And I think one of the things, because we're talking about blueprints, and we're talking about all the people that go into helping to build your home. And we're talking about how you and I have overcome those contentious conversations without yelling, without slamming doors, and etc. We've also been able to have conversations about our bios, our ex-significant others. There were challenges there that we had to learn how to communicate to, not only with us, but with them.
Yeah.
And not having you or not having me talk to Charles and you talk to Jerry, but you being able to talk to him and me being able to talk to her. And that's very important. That was a challenge for us in the beginning.
Had trust, you had, there's all different sorts. And to your point though, also because there was still aught and hurt and whatnot on that side of the fence as well. And so, as you begin to really assess what's going on with your blended family, it is so easy to point the finger at everybody else and go, you need to fix this. You acting crazy over here. You need to sit down somewhere. You're spoiled. You do too much, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a saying that when you're pointing the finger at somebody else, there's one finger pointing at them and there's 4 more pointing back at you. Typically.
3 fingers, 1 thumb.
Okay. I knew you were going to say that, but correct. Yes. Yep. And so you really have to start with yourself. You really have to just be honest and take a true assessment of what's going on with me, and then for us, this is where our faith plays a huge role. Like, look, y'all, if I be getting ready to do something and Jesus be like, excuse me, little girl, what you think you finna do? Or if I go on and do it because I'm just in full-fledged flesh and I'm operating out of emotion, the Holy Spirit would be like, yeah, you wrong, right? Or, yeah, no, you need to go fix this. Or why are you just making crazy comments? Like, for what? Like, what are you doing? So when you desire, my point being is that when you desire to mature and to grow and to heal, because you really want to build healthy foundations, you want to have a good, stable structure in your family, you have got to start with you.
Yeah.
And you have got to then release the other people to the Lord and first pray and use wisdom in how you broach these topics in a way so that you're not coming in so hot that can't nobody receive what you're saying, because immediately walls of defense go up when you coming in with all sorts of attitude and whatnot, as opposed to, hey, I got a difficult topic that I need to discuss. Do we have time to talk about this right now?
Yeah. So all that's very good. We're going to park the plane. We've talked about one question the entire time. But
before you blame, check the blueprint. See what's going on.
Right.
Find out, from your personal individual stance, what's your past? What things, what built you from the beginning? And what things need to be deconstructed, or what's okay to remain.
Yeah.
What needs to be torn down, or what can you keep when you're talking about how you were built from your family, what you saw, what you experienced, how you were parented or not parented, your entire family structure. How did the culture of your family prior to being married, how does that play into who you are today?
How you add on to the house.
And what are things that you might have thought were okay previously, and now that you are where you are, you see that it's not particularly healthy.
Yeah. You got inspected and the chandelier is too small. Yeah. The light bulbs is wrong. All of that. So, for me, even as we've talked about this and I'll let you close this out, but even as we talk about this, I'm still reflecting on what we could have drawn better, what we could have implemented better.
That's a lot.
And
book,
and had we had that blueprint, and it's always a choice. But had we had that blueprint,
so at least be able to think through and talk.
Right. Go, we could have. Yeah, we could have.
We didn't. Wait, what?
We could have shored up some things and produced a sturdier product. Not that it's not that we.
But we are now.
Yeah, not that we're in shambles.
Tear down and rebuild a lot of components.
Yeah. So the bottom thing for me, the blueprint is important, and to follow it. To follow one is important. To have one is important. So hopefully something that we are giving you all is a portion of a blueprint that you can follow, or, take what you need, throw away what you don't. So.
And change orders are legal.
Oh, yeah.
People start out with a certain blueprint and think that's what they want. We had how many versions of blueprints and sketchings before we landed on the final one here? Because you go, hey, well, I think I want the washer and dryer on the top floor. But then they draw it out and you go, well, then that means I won't have this. So then you go, okay, well, that's fine. I'll go downstairs and still do the laundry, right?
Yeah.
So making changes along the way, having to pivot, having to call a timeout and go, we need to reassess this and reset some boundaries. Totally legal. It's okay.
Yeah.
Do not get stuck in, well, I'm in it now, so ain't no going back. No, yes, there can be some going back. You can call it a scratch and go, hey. And it's okay to change your mind. You can grow up and say, what I thought 10 years ago, 5 years ago, last year. Mm-hmm. It can evolve. It can change. Yeah. And it's okay. And I really had to learn that too and be okay saying, you know what? That's what I thought then. And either I don't know why I thought that and it's just wrong, or, well, that's really what I believed and I thought it was okay at the time, but now I feel differently.
Yeah.
That's okay. So again, we the goal here is to share with you all, how can we just be completely transparent, and share all the things that we've learned and experienced and present information that will help other people. Blended families obviously is our, primary focus, but anybody actually, y'all. Yeah. If you single and you meet someone that has a child, you will be in a blended family. If you have no kids and you're single, you want to be married, you meet someone who is awesome and he or she has one child or two children or three, then you're going to be in a blended family.
Yeah.
And so being able to think through and assess these topics and things so that you can have a healthy mindset and be able to work through things without, not that there still won't be issues or challenges, but again, to your point, when you've got a semblance of a plan, mm-hmm. When you've got a roadmap, when you've got a blueprint, and you can go, hey, let's at least start with talking through these things, then it makes a big difference. So, again, I'm grateful to be able to share this information. And y'all, here is, so again, Blended Family Blueprints is the book that is available on Amazon, and strategies to overcome 10 common struggles and build lasting unities. And we walk through, again, literally 10 common struggles that I won't say all. I never, that's an overreaching word, but I would say that are 10 things that are common to the majority of blended families, and to families in general, by the way, actually, that we pray that the information in this book will bless you. It's available on Amazon. And of course, we're going to continue to just have real talk, real dialogue, and be transparent about what we have experienced as we share our Pickens realities and blended family truths. And we pray that today this conversation has helped and blessed you all in a way that makes you go, okay, I hadn't thought about that. And if you got, again, I keep telling y'all, if y'all got it together and you got something to share with us, hit us up. You go to YouTube, comment, like, share, do all the things.
Yeah, we need Jayla here to run down that
We
list.
do. Yeah. We do. But yes, please.
So, yeah.
Find us on social media at Jessica Pickens Realities on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I'm getting back to being regular, y'all. Life has been lifing. Not perfect. And so, as I stated, I think, I don't know, on one of the social media posts, I get it, y'all. But consistency is the key to building your brand and all that. But listen, just sometimes it just is what it is. But we didn't give up. We're still here. We're going to keep talking and keep doing what we are doing as long as the Lord says keep doing it. And he did. So we are.
So the plane is landed now. What is it?
Right. I'll just wait.
Okay. So,
you see this,
right. No. So the plane is landed. We appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next time. I don't know. What is it? I'm a guest.
Thank you for joining us on Pickens. You're a guest on Pickens Realities and Blended Family Truths, where we discuss
blended families matters.
No, stop. Blended family matters
because blended families matter.
Thanks, y'all. See you next time.
If I get invited back.
Right.